Hello and welcome to the program Mystic World with Jimmy. I am Jimmy. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are around the world. And I'm your guide through the mystic world of tarot. Before we go on to today's topic, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel. The next card we have is the Eight of Swords. This is a card which is someone that is anxious, very anxious, anxiety, also in doubt. And there's a lot of fear here as well, whether it be through relationships or through a work situation. He feels trapped. In the picture, there is a guy standing on the right of the picture, a guy in the middle with swords all around, and there are three beautiful, ugly spirits. And sometimes this card can mean that someone is doing witchcraft on them. And with witchcraft, you can tie up their hands so they're not moving at work. You can cause them anxiety and that sort of stuff by doing that. So that obviously tells you that there's a cleansing that needs to be taken in place. And the cleansing needs to be a ritual. If you're doing it for a client, you need to tell the client one of your rituals that may be, or however you want to explain it to them. But any card that has a demon in there, and here we have three, and you can tell they are demon because of the demonic gestures that they are making, which is making fun of the person that has the anxiety problem. Behind is a stormy weather, which means around the individual, it isn't much good happening. The other one is also very naive. The guy standing behind him, very naive. He cannot advise him and pull him out of it. Unfortunately, he's going to go for the ride because he doesn't want to get out of it. You could very easily do. The swords are done about a foot apart. He can very easily get through that. But fear keeps him where he is. The soil is bare. There's no greenery. So obviously this guy has lost quite a bit of money because he looks in his 30s, late 30s maybe. Financial is not existent here. It is important here also that the reader does not put their own advice in there for the individual. You need to let them sort that out. For example, if you know they're going through a bad relationship or a bad job and needs to be changed, the job is fine, you can. You've got to be very careful if he can handle this emotional stuff at the stage that he might be. So a change of a job would be a good idea if that is what is troubling him. But if it is to do with the marriage and the relationship, that it doesn't look that crush hot, just be careful with the wording that you use. You don't want to stimulate any emotion at that stage. The next card we'll do is the Seven of Swords. This card is a deceitful card, which means there is a lady with her head down and carrying a lot of swords. But those swords are on her shoulder, which means there is pain. Something is paining her. And with the hurt that she's suffering, the pain is making her angry and jealous of people that she feels do not have what she's got. So if you have a person around you that resembles that card, it will be a woman that is not look at you in the eyes when you are talking to her. So you need to be careful. There's no green on the card. It's very bare. The rock is exposed. But there is healing taking place. She's wearing a purple cape. She's got problems with the legs.
The legs are manly legs, which means that it could be a man, but in this case it looks like a female. But the mountains also at the back are purple, which means that she's going the wrong way about trying to get healing. But eventually she might. A friend like that you don't need. The Six of Swords. The Six of Swords depicts a young man traveling, not necessarily by sea, it can be by plane these days, or a helicopter, or even a drone. So the vehicle is on water, which means she's going through a lot of emotional issues. And he's got to sort them out, so he's going somewhere. This represents a interstate trip because it's not a very big boat that he's on. It's only a small boat. So this boat can only go a certain way, a certain distance. So it's close by interstate trips, whether it be South Australia or New South Wales. The sky's got a bit of cloud, which means there's a lot on his mind, but it's very clear and very blue, which is soothing and tranquil. And he's going through some healing processes as well. On the negative side, with the Six of Swords, a refusal to move on and carrying too much emotional baggage that can sink the boat and sink him and others going through the same thing, deep in emotion, unless he changes his thinking. The mind works with pictures. So if you take a negative picture from your mind and replace it with a positive, it could be a trip to Sydney, a trip to the Bahamas, or a trip something away from the usual routine that you're doing. It will lift you up and will keep you going straight. But the minute you change that picture into a negative one, it will sink you. So be careful what you put in. The mind does not know whether it's cold or hot. It depends what you put in. If you tell it it's cold, it will treat you like it's cold. If you tell it it's hot, it will do the same. So you can fool it a little bit. The Five of Swords. We have a man that doesn't know what he's talking about. He thinks he does, but he's got a lot of anger. He's very naive. And naivety and anger is a dangerous weapon. He's looking at a girl, which she's sitting down and surprised that this guy is talking to her that way. Your client can find themselves in a situation where they never expected the boss to react so towards them. But in this case, they had. But the boss, because there's no green around it, no trees, nothing, it means that the guy is not making any money. So therefore, he's attacking the secretary. But it's not the secretary's fault he's not making money. So this is where he's not thinking positively or straight or even thinking. He's just lashing out. And the girl does not know how to answer him because she doesn't want to lose her job. Now, in the distance, you got a few rocky situations, not big and not a lot, which means his problems are not great. And they're solid, but they're not ongoing. There's breaks in the middle, and there's only two of them that I can see. Later on, we might cover the pendulum, but at the moment, with this card, the reader needs to use the pendulum and ask the spirit what his problem might be, if you want to find, because you need another card next to it to be able to find that. One or the other will get you an answer. Now we'll do the fourth card of the swords. And it's got this card has a picture of It can be a male or a female, with blondish hair, white attire, sitting down in a yoga pose, doing some meditation. In front of him, there's 4 crossed swords, and it suggests that he needs to make 4 decisions. Behind him is the peak of the mountain with 2 other little peaks on either side of his head. That is a good thing because it indicates, and there's clouds passing through, which indicates eventually he will have to walk up those mountains. And walking up is always very good, but at the moment, he needs to make the decisions. When you get a card like that in a reading, it's good to allow the client to pick up 4 cards, spread the cards in front of you, and let the client pick 4 cards. Each card will give you a decision that they need to make. It's not necessarily what the client wants to know, it's what the spirits want to tell them. It's also about slowing, regaining your energy and self-worth. The card is also referring to the need to take your time and be mindful of yourself and others. But it's not about others, this one. It's about oneself. You find a lot of things when you go into real meditation about yourself. 3 of Swords. This particular card has a lady on one side and a man on the other side. And there's a man lying down in a bath of water. This card always represents a small procedure in the midriff of the body. It could be the frontal or it could be the back. Now, this one here, because he's in the bath of water and the swords are piercing the midriff of the body, this indicates there's a bit of lithotripsy happening, which is basically removing of stones or tumors in this method. And he looks like he's in a little bit of pain, or he's asleep because his head is down and his legs are up. So the lady that's there on the right, she's wearing a purple dress. The purple dress, and she's the nurse. So the purple dress means she's the healer. So if he's getting looked after by a healer, the man is wearing a dark historical dress and a beard, and he would be the doctor or the surgeon. So there's not a lot of medical people going back and forth in this one, which will indicate the procedure is not a very serious one. So thank you for joining us today. That's all we have time for, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you next time. But before you go, just press the button to like and subscribe. It does help our channel. Thank you so much. Goodbye for now.